Hello guys, welcome back to RxTX Pathology. I'm Dr. Anjit, and here we are going to discuss a beautiful slide from our collection. And I'm sure most of you must have already known the diagnosis, a little bit of creeping on the top, right? So this is a skin lesion, this is skin biopsy. I'll tell you the diagnosis first itself. So the interesting thing is how to step by step look at every important point so that we can confidently diagnose it the next time, right? I'm going to talk about Syringocystadenoma papilliferum, which is a very common spotter which can come for your MD exams, right? So now, if you can look at this part, there's a completely normal skin where the lesion is not very appreciated. In the deeper cut here, here's where the exact lesion is, right? You can see the lesion here. So if you look at any standard textbook of Syringocystadenoma papilliferum, it will be written that it's a cystic invagination of an infundibular epithelium projecting into the epidermis, right? Now let's look at each and everything here. This is your infundibular epithelium, right? This is your infundibular epithelium. Here the projection is not well appreciated. So when you go here, you can see that it's exactly the infundibular epithelium, which is actually projecting into the dermis, like the textbook says. It's an invagination. We call it an exoendophytic growth. It's actually a proliferative growth, but it's growing underneath, like an inverted papilloma kind of thing. It's an exoendophytic growth, which is going into the dermis, right? If you carefully look at the growth, let's zoom it a little bit. I hope you can appreciate that. Perfect. Okay, there'll be a gradual transition, right? It's clearly said in every standard books of dermatopathology that there'll be a gradual transition from a squamous epithelium, like you can see that, right? The squamous epithelium, there's a gradual transition from the squamous to a double layered epithelium when it goes into the lesion, right? Can you see the transition? That's a beautiful transition, right? The squamous here, agree it's squamous. When it goes deep here, it's becoming double layered. If you look at the classical double layered epithelium, you'll have good amount of columnar epithelium here and there's a tiny cuboidal epithelium. That's how the entire papillary projection will be. Wherever you go along the papillary projection, the double layering of epithelium will be always maintained. You'll have one columnar epithelium here, multiple tiny things, and also a cuboidal epithelium here, right? Wherever you go. Wherever you go, these are all also the papillae which has been cut into half like this so that you can see the cut surface here. This also has the outer epithelium, inner epithelium, right? That's characteristic of the lesion. We call it Syringocystadenoma papilliferum. It's papillae. You can see the cut surface. The central you have fibrovascular core. The main difference between how to identify a papilla on a cut surface, it'll have lots of vascularity like this and surrounded by an epithelial architecture. Or when it's a papillary form cut vertically also, you can see the vascularity here. Wherever you notice the papillae, you will have the double layering of epithelium. And like you can see from the double layering epithelium, it'll obviously gradually transit into your squamous epithelium, right? That transition is what makes the entire structure unique, and it's not something you can miss on a diagnosis. The only thing with pathology is very vast, and we have to pinpoint every single lesion so that we can easily diagnose them, right? So the exoendophytic lesion, you might have a little bit of verrucous hyperplasia of the epidermis. Sometimes a pseudo epitheliomatous hyperplasia of the epidermis also can be there, and the double laning of the epithelium is very characteristic. And also books say that though it's not a very exact point to be loaded for, the double laning is more than enough and the transfer is more than enough to diagnose. Actually, in the stock of the papillae, you'll have good collection of plasma cells. Let's see if you can see that. Can you see them? Yeah, they are good collection of plasma cells, right? Look at this. Look at this, right? You can see the plasma cell here, right? I saw one more area with abundance of plasma cells, right? Good number of plasma cells, right? Where was it? Just give me a second. Yeah, go to the stock. You can see good number of plasma cells lining. All these are the plasma cells which will be seen in the stock of the papillary lesion, right? So that's about pseudocystadenoma papilliferum. If you're first time to RxTX pathology, click the subscribe button, share it to your fellow pathologist, and let's learn pathology in the best way possible. See you soon. Bye-bye.